Hey, this is Ken again with another 10 minutes to change the world. And today we're going to talk about kitchens. Yes, kitchens. Not the kitchens that are in your house. No, we're talking about community kitchens and not just kitchens for cooking. I recently discovered this great place here in Los Angeles called the Bicycle Kitchen, and it's kind of the same idea, community kitchen, but instead of cooking food, they fix bicycles, and they have drawers full of parts, odd parts and stuff that people can use, the spices, as they call them, and the ingredients. And if you need help, you can hire a technician. But if you know what you're doing, you can just set your bike up on the rack and start working on it and use the tools, and don't be a jerk and be friendly, hang out, say hi to everybody, be polite in conversation. When somebody who's obviously an expert says something to you, listen to them, because they are an expert. That's why they're there, to help you, to save you time and energy. But yeah, this whole idea is we don't all need our own, bike shop, nor the people who say, don't have a lot of money, because the people who do have money, like rich people, they can just drop their bike off at the bike shop and pick it up a couple days later and get it fixed. And when, or if when I was young and dumb and lived in San Francisco, that's what I used to do, before I could figure out how to fix a bike on my own, which I did eventually. But yeah, I even try to go down to help out at the Bicycle Kitchen now and again, and that's where I go to fix my bike. But yeah, this idea of a community kitchen, bicycle kitchen, yes, obviously a regular kitchen would be good too. We have a big homeless population that's growing in numbers in the United States right now. Despite what anybody tells you, the economy is not good. A lot of homeless people on food stamps. Some of them are in what's now called the Hot Meals program, which I think is really, really good, because one thing I've noticed is I'll be out riding my bicycle, working and stuff, and I'll get hungry and I'll want lunch, not have any money because all of my money goes to bills, and I'll have to take my food stamp card, EBT card, SNAP, whatever you call it, and go to the grocery store, and I just need a little something that's already cooked to eat. And sometimes I'll find going to the grocery store and getting something pre-cooked is far more expensive than just hopping off at a Wendy's or whatever and getting a cheeseburger. I'm pretty sure right now, regardless of what you think about the quality of the food, you cannot get a cheaper hamburger than at McDonald's. There's just not, if you just want a hamburger, you go to the store and make one on yourself, it's gonna be more expensive. So I'm glad to see now that's happening. But having a community kitchen where, say, maybe it's not somebody who's working and needs something quick, maybe it's somebody who just doesn't not have access to a kitchen, or maybe it's somebody who has a business idea to make candies or something and doesn't have access to a certified kitchen. Maybe they have a kitchen at their house, and that's all fine and well and good, but it's not necessarily, they can't make their prototype Jolly Rancher things and sell them, because they don't have a certified kitchen or some kind of jam or something. I'm working on right now, I'm working on an energy drink. I have this energy drink that I've been making at home, and I would love to make up a bunch of bottles of it and give them out to some other people to try and see how they like them. But I don't have a certified kitchen. So yeah, so community kitchen, that's not only for, say, use for people um, who don't have a kitchen, but also for people who need a commercial kitchen would be good too. So if anybody wants to get cracking on that kind of a kitchen nonprofit, that'd be great. These are nonprofits. Bicycle Kitchen, that's a nonprofit. You know, although I didn't really think about it that way at the time, the Common Room of Seattle at the Happy Lucky place up in the U District that I used to run, that was a sort of like a computer kitchen. I didn't think about it that way. We just thought of it as a computer lab. The idea was for you know, homeless kids to be able to like get out of the sun, get on a computer, check their, you know, emails, and, you know, talk to their friends, apply to jobs, look for work, look for a place to live, all that sort of thing. You know, essentially essentially mirroring the services of the library, except for we were open for later hours in the day, and we weren't all like, shh, people are working, which is like totally sucks. It was a place where you could go and enjoy yourself and have fun and enjoy what you're doing, and hang out with people and talk to people. But as kind of like a side thing, that just kind of happened, because the way we set it all up is we got all these computers from Real Audio, and Real Audio, they made the Real Player way back in the early days of the internet. You might not remember them anymore, but they do other stuff now. I don't know, some kind of compression thing, some business to business thing. I have no idea what they do now. But anyway, at the time, they gave us a crap load of their old computers, and not any of them were really on their own any good, because they were their old computers that they couldn't use anymore. But you know, when we were first setting up the computer lab, we would take, like, you know, these 20, 50, whatever, I can't even remember how many, I think we had like 50 computers, and we'd strip them all to parts, and then we go through all the parts and we find the best parts and put those together, and then those were the computers for the labs. And then with all the other parts, you know, essentially we had, because we only needed, like, because of the space of the room, I think we had 5 computers, and then there wasn't room for more than 5 computers, and then we didn't, you know, it wasn't a big deal because hardly ever more than 5 people were trying to use the computers all at once. And so this was back before cell phones and all, you know, the smartphones, and, you know, things are different today. But back then, you know, I guess we did kind of have a computer kitchen where, you know, people could go through and grab the spare parts and put together a box if they wanted, and if they had a place to take it home to, they could take it home. Or they could just build it for fun because they were bored and, you know, just wanted to build a computer, and then would just sit in the pile of computers for people to take home, you know. So yeah, I mean, that's a computer kitchen. That's another thing you could do. You know, I haven't found anything like that in LA yet. Maybe there is something already, but I don't know what it is. But that's another thing you could start in your town, nonprofit. Well, you know, ours was targeted at we didn't have any age restrictions, but it was targeted at young adults, mostly, you know, 18 to 28, I'd say, was our target group. Yeah, sometimes people under 18 would come, and that's fine as long as it wasn't too late at night. We did have a rule that, you know, I think it was after 9 p.m. or something. If you were under 18, you had to go somewhere else. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And yeah. Yeah, and so, but if somebody showed up who was in their 40s or 50s or whatever, we didn't turn them away. You need to use a computer, go use a computer, And we had other services there, we did have laundry and showers and, that sort of stuff. And they do like the gym membership thing is what they do here in LA. You get a gym membership and then you can, take a shower or whatever. But, we had a bathroom with a shower, so if you needed to take a shower, you could. If you were too stinky, because a lot of homeless kids do get kind of stinky, we tell them you need to go take a shower before you hang out, because you smell too bad. That's kind of why we had shower access. And then, of course, sometimes it wasn't them that smelled, and sometimes it was their clothes, so then we started letting people use the laundry. And yeah, and so we had, and next thing you know, we had like these giant piles of clothes everywhere, because kids would just leave their clothes there. And when I say kids, adults included, people would just leave their, we just called everybody who was a guest a kid. It just made it easier, because they weren't adulting. They were working towards adulting. But yeah, so we had like all these piles of clothes, and then it became like if people needed clothes, we'd be like, go get some clothes out of the clothes pile. Yeah, it was really the common room of Seattle it was kind of a free for all. But the main idea was the computer lab, and everything kind of branched out from that. So yeah, that's scope. That's something you got to think about. Defining your scope and what is the scope of your project. So the idea of having these different kitchens, and if you really, really wanted to get really crazy, you could have a whole block with just all these different kind of community kitchens, computer kitchens and bike kitchens and kitchens and whatever other kind of kitchens you might want to come up with. And you could be the community block, community laundry. Have a laundry room where the water and soap is already paid for by somebody else, so that people who don't have money to do laundry can do laundry, so their clothes don't smell bad. There's all these things you can do to make the world a better place. It's really simple. Most of the time when people, most of the problems in the world come from people not being able to afford things. That guy who gets angry on the street and road rages in traffic, he's not mad because he's stuck in traffic. He's mad because he's stuck in traffic because he's got to go to some job he doesn't like to earn money for things he probably doesn't even want. But for one reason or another, he's got to pay them bills. Them bills got to get paid. So, yeah, let's start working on community, because that's really, at the end of the day, that's what a nonprofit is all about. I said it. I try to say this every video. If I forget, I'm sorry, but nonprofits are about creating infrastructure. You want to create an infrastructure that allows people to do better in life. Just like roads allow us to travel from one place to another, electricity, allows us to have appliances, so we don't have to have an army of servants like back in the colonial days. These are all things, infrastructure, things that improve the lives of people and make people able to do more in life. So that's what nonprofits are all about. So go out there, let's change the world, let's make a bunch of nonprofits to the point where everything in this country is a nonprofit at one point. That would be great. Thanks. This is Ken, 10 Minutes to Change the World.